Hey guys. So it's been a while since I did a pregnancy update. I know I told you guys I would keep you updated on how things are going, how mom life has been, and I still haven't written a blog post on my birth story, but I will definitely get to that. I do have a video recorded where I explain a little bit about the birth of Miss Madison Jade Corelli right here. She was born on July 14th, 2016, 7 pounds, 2 ounces. There's my dog Bree. So I just wanted to give you guys a little update. Tomorrow is September 1st, 2016, and tomorrow will mark 7 weeks. Madison will be 7 weeks old. So for the first week, things are pretty rough in the hospital. I mean, it was an adjustment period that we all have, right? So after the first full day with her, we were in the hospital for 2 days. So after the first full day, I seemed to have the hospital room down pat. By the second day, when we were being let go from the hospital, I was nervous to come home because we had a schedule in the hospital. We had a call button anytime I needed to call the nurses. So it was an adjustment that we needed to make in the hospital, and then I needed to transition and make that adjustment in our home, which went pretty well because we had a lot of family members who came over and helped out. We had to figure out what she liked to sleep in. We had a bassinet set up in our room, but that bassinet didn't go over very well. She didn't like it. So we ended up using her rock and play, and she's been sleeping in her rock and play ever since. We've been swaddling her. We started with swaddling both arms, and now we are just swaddling one arm because she tends to hold one of her arms up behind her head a lot when she falls asleep. If you can see it, it's actually this one right here. So we swaddle her with that arm out so she feels a little bit more comfortable. So we figured that out. We actually have her on a sleep and a feeding schedule now, and she's slept through the night once. But typically, I really only need to wake up one time in the middle of the night, 1 or 2 times, so she'll eat every like 3 or 4 hours, and depending on when we put her to sleep, if we get her to bed around 10, she'll wake up at like 2:30, and then again at like 6:30, and I'm up by then, so that's perfect for me. So let me just backtrack. I took a few notes here. So for the first week, eating wise, I ate completely intuitively. I tried to start tracking macros again, but it just wasn't going to happen. There was too much of an adjustment period that needed to be made with my body, my mind, my hormones, and everything. So I was eating completely intuitive for 1 week. Not to mention I was breastfeeding, so about 500 of my calories go to her every single day, so that's an adjustment as well. I was probably eating about 70% healthy, 30% junk food. I got into the Doritos and Oreos a lot, but my own personal feeding schedule was completely off because I was super busy dealing with her. I was making sure I was having one protein shake a day in order to keep my protein up. I know how important that is. No exercise at all. I did walk to the mailbox a few times to mail some thank you letters, and it just felt good to get outside. I was just letting my body continue to transition on its own, allowing my uterus to shrink. I did wear a belly band from the company Belly Bandit for a few days, but it didn't really stick. It felt good to wear it to kind of like suck myself in a little bit because I was feeling a little like hungover, if you know what I mean, the belly roll thing right after you give birth. So the belly band was nice, but I had to take it off every time I nursed her. And there was a point where she was eating like every 30 to 45 minutes, so taking it on and off just became too much of a hassle. Nursing bras definitely were amazing for the first few weeks. To be honest, I don't really wear a bra anymore. I just wear like a tank top, and it's just easy. Unless obviously I'm leaving the house or exercising now. I did lose 16.8 pounds initially, so I gained 30 pounds throughout my pregnancy, and I lost 16.8. My dog is like doing circles on the bed. I lost 16.8 pounds initially and 1.4% body fat. So that means that I had at 1 week 12.2 pounds left to go and about 4.7% body fat. I still have about 10 pounds left to lose. They've just been lingering, but I did just start exercising now. Again, I'll be 7 weeks postpartum tomorrow, so I hope that once I start exercising and tracking my macros, I will start losing some more body fat. Not really worried about the number on the scale, but I do want to lose a little bit more body fat and get my muscle mass back so that I can put up the same amount of lifts that I used to in the gym, as well as continue to carry my daughter around all day because she's only putting on more weight. She's not getting any lighter. For the third week, I wasn't cleared to exercise for 6 weeks, but I did try to do a few things on week 3. I did end up stopping because I was bleeding a little bit and feeling a lot of pressure down there. So I figured it was best to just give my body the full 6 weeks rest and get the clear to exercise from the doctor before I, push myself too far and end up hurting myself. But I do want to go over a few postpartum side effects that people don't typically tell you about. This is something that's like surprising to most because unless you have a friend who gave birth and is willing to share the not so nice things about postpartum and pregnancy in general, then you don't really hear about it. I'm not going to go into details, but I did make a list of the postpartum side effects as I was experiencing them. So very, very heavy bleeding. Yes, that does occur. And I will preface this by saying I did have some stitches. I did have some minor stitches from the birth. My birth was completely natural. So I did experience heavy bleeding for about 3 weeks, and I haven't really bled at all since then. So 3 weeks of bleeding and lots of soreness. Going up and down steps were a little difficult. I just had to be careful. There's a crazy hormonal adjustment. A few crying episodes happened, and I had no idea why. Like, I would just start crying, and my husband would be like, "What's wrong?" And I would say, "I don't know." Like, literally no clue why. There's tears coming out of my eyes right now. So that's just your hormones that are readjusting. There's a lot going on with the body. There's a lot going on in our life. We now have a child. So, like, all of that stuff put together is very dramatic at times. I personally experienced night sweats, and I had never heard of this happening before, but I would wake up in a puddle of water, and I know that sounds disgusting, but it was freezing, and I was cold. Like, I was under my comforter sleeping, but I would still wake up in a puddle, and that happened a few times, like no more than like maybe 5 nights that I experienced that, and that might have to do with breastfeeding and the fact that I did get mastitis. I think I got mastitis. I'm not completely sure. I didn't have to go to the doctor or the hospital, but I did come down with flu-like symptoms for about 72 hours where I was not feeling well at all. Other than that, breastfeeding has been wonderful. Madison latched on immediately after being born, so we have had a great connection with breastfeeding, and the pain is gone. Everything's normal. I have no problem feeding her now. Also, I was getting a lot of headaches, and I was having a little some more, I guess I was experiencing body odor is how I want to put it. So that was probably from the night sweats and all the extra sweating, and then again the hormonal adjustment that was going on. A lot of swelling, like my feet and my ankles and my fingers. Everything swells up at the end of pregnancy, but I also experienced that swelling postpartum as well. And that was really it for the postpartum symptoms or side effects. But yeah, so I mean, tomorrow's week 7, and it's crazy how fast this has gone. Again, I This is Madison. She's been sleeping in my Ergo baby carrier, which this is a godsend. It's the Ergo baby wrap. I also have the carrier, but right now this is wrap is a little bit later because we're in the heat of summer and it's a little cooler for her. But yeah, so that's my pregnancy update. I'll try and come back every so often and tell you how things are going. Tomorrow again starts week 7. I started CrossFit again. I was cleared to exercise last Thursday, so I went to CrossFit on Friday. I'm coaching on Mondays and Wednesdays, so I'm doing a little bit of auxiliary movements and exercises during the classes that I'm coaching. I've been outside to run. I ran a mile and I did, I don't know, it was probably about a mile today at CrossFit, and I'm feeling really, really good on that front. I'm enjoying my time home with Madison. She's adorable. She's starting to smile and laugh, so she is reacting to us now, whereas before she was kind of just looking at us and staring with like a blur, like no idea who we are, but now she's smiling and reacting, and it's getting really, really fun. So I'm super excited to just continue to watch her grow and keep updating you guys on the progress. So if you have any questions at all, guys, I'm an open book. I'd be happy to chat with you about maybe you're trying to get pregnant and you're not sure what to do. I can talk you through what I did to get my body in the absolute best shape that it has ever been before we tried and got pregnant, because I wanted to set myself up for success throughout pregnancy, to have a healthy pregnancy and for myself and for my child, and then how I've gotten myself back on track afterwards as well. I really truly dedicate my nutrition and fitness before pregnancy to how well my body has responded post-pregnancy. You can email me at info@crazyhealthyfit.com. You can visit my website online at jennacorelli.com, and I will chat with you guys soon. Bye.